Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hell of a show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want today's full show, it is streaming for free on the Dreamers Pro podcast. We have that pinned in the comments below. Let me get into this topic here. I'm never someone to toot my own horn ever, but I got to say this. I feel like I'm part of the groundswell of people that have been now pushing this Kawhi Leonard MVP conversation to be in the MVP conversation, because I wasn't hearing people talk about it much before, right? I've been pushing that line over the last few weeks because the Clippers have been playing bloody well. Kawhi Leonard's been playing bloody well, and I've been pushing for it. And I now see major media is beginning to talk about it, bigger play. I'm not saying that I'm the one that started. I'm just saying that I've been talking about it a lot, right? And I'm happy that they're at least discussing Kawhi Leonard. Now, as you guys know, the Clippers have been playing fantastically well since December 1st. They have the best record in the NBA with a 26-5 record. That's the best record in the NBA, folks. It's not even close. And I want to get into actually some of their stats about the Clippers. First of all, do you know that the Clippers yesterday officially took over the number one spot in the Western Conference? Are you guys aware of this? The Clippers are now the number one seed. The Clippers that actually had lost 6 games in a row when they acquired James Harden, that same team bounced back to now end up being a better team than they were prior to having Harden, and now they're the number one seed. I heard a lot of people talk about, well, now Kawhi Leonard can't be in the cup because they're not even top 3, but now they're the number one seed in the West. What else you want? What else you want? You want Kawhi Leonard to be twerking it up for you? What else you want? What you want? You want to be ice grilling dudes whenever he dunk? What else you want? So the Clippers now officially have the number one record in the NBA in the West, not the East, the West. That's the first thing. Let me get into some of this team's stats, right? And I want to get into the role Kawhi Leonard has played in all of this. The Clippers right now, as we currently speak, are the number 4 team in field goal percentage in the NBA. Since December 1st, they've been, I believe, the number one offense in the NBA. Right now, they're the number 5th team in steals. They're the number 1 team in the NBA in three-point shooting percentage. They're the number 3 rated offense right now in the NBA. They're the number 13th rated defense. Now, I'm going to get to that for a second. Why do I want to harp on that? The reason I want to harp on the defensive side is that for as well as this team is playing right now, they can be better, much better, especially on the defensive side of the floor. And the Clippers just recently came off a 7-game road trip when they went, was it 6 or 7? I think a 6-game road trip when they went 5-1, the Grammy road trip. So they've been playing fantastically well. They beat Atlanta, they beat Boston, they beat the only team that they lost to was the Cleveland Cavaliers during that stretch. So the Clippers have been playing fantastically well. But now I want to get into Kawhi Leonard, and I want to get into some of his stats and the reasons why I believe he should be in the MVP conversation, at least a top 3 candidate. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by a brand new sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit matchup up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And once again, once you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Let me get into some of this data here. And we're getting some of this from Basketball Reference. I want to give you guys some stats. Kawhi Leonard, as we currently speak, is top 20 in scoring. If we look at Kawhi's stats since December, let me give you guys Kawhi Leonard's stats since December. because I had it. Because some people won't believe me. Kawhi Leonard stats since December. I actually had what is it? I had it here. I can't even find it. But I had a stat where Kawhi Leonard was actually putting up. No, hold up. I got his stats because I think that these are. But anyway, I can't find it right now. But Kawhi Leonard has been putting up incredible numbers. Let me get to some of his other stats. He's number 20. He's in the top 20 in scoring. I think by the end of the season, he's going to be in the top 15 in scoring. Kawhi Leonard right now, he's number 4 in steals in the NBA. Number 4. He's 28, get this, in overall field goal shooting percentage as a small forward who predominantly takes jump shots and mid-range jump shots. That's where Kawhi is. He's the number 3, get this, 3-point shooter in the entire NBA. You heard what I just said. Kawhi Leonard, with all of these great shooters, Stephen Curry, all these guys, he's the number 3 3-point shooter in the NBA. And speaking of shooting, I want to get into Kawhi Leonard's shooting for a second to really explain just how good Kawhi Leonard has been this season. I want to get into some of his stats here. I want to get into just shooting for a second. Before I even get into that, let me get into his averages this year. Kawhi Leonard's averages, his regular season averages right now is 24.4 points per game on 53.3% shooting. That's a career high. He's shooting 45.7% from the 3. That's a career high, attempting 5. He's actually attempting more threes this season than he did last season. Fantastic. He's shooting 89% from the free throw line this season. He's getting you 6.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.7 steals. That's the most steals he's had since he was a San Antonio Spur. And he's averaging a career high in blocks, close to a career high in 0.9 blocks per game. The last time he had those type of defensive numbers, when he averaged a block per game, that was when Kawhi Leonard was a San Antonio Spur. Those are just the basic numbers. Because some people be thinking, this and this and this and this and this and this. Let's get into some of Kawhi Leonard's splits. In the month of February, just this month, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 31 points per game on 62% shooting from the floor, 62.3. He's shooting 63.6% from 3. And he hasn't missed a free throw this month, while getting you 5.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1.3 blocks per game. Now I want to get into his real shooting to explain to you just how good this guy is. From 0 to 3 feet this year, Kawhi Leonard is shooting 80%. From 3 to 10 feet, he's shooting 52%. From 10 to 16 feet, he's shooting 51%. And from the 3-point line, he's shooting 45.7%. Those are Kawhi Leonard's offensive numbers. Now let's get into the defense, which doesn't show up on a lot of that there. Kawhi Leonard is having his number 1 defensive rated season in the history of his career. His defensive rating this year is 112.6. To put that into context, that's what Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defensive rating is. That's Kawhi Leonard's defensive rating. What I think should happen is the following. Kawhi Leonard should be all first NBA team. All NBA, all first. He should be on that team. He should be on the all first defensive team. And he should be in consideration for an MVP this season. All of those things need to happen. Because he may not have as gaudy numbers as those other guys, but his numbers are leading to winning. And I want to quickly read something that we got from a Fadeaway World article. And it says Kawhi Leonard on possibly joining the 50-40-90 club. It continues on. And it says he can end this season averaging the rare 50-40-90, an achievement for playing player average, blah, blah, blah. We've seen this feat 13 times, and the most recent inclusion being Kevin Durant last season. Kawhi Leonard was then asked about this. He said, I want to make every shot I shoot, but I'm not going out there to play for numbers. If you actually watch Kawhi Leonard play, you can tell he's not forcing it. And if this guy was actually a gunner with this type of efficiency, what do you think he would average? What do you think he, I mean, we're talking about the same dude that averaged 31 points per game and led the playoffs in rebounds the year he won, I think rebounds and steals the year he won the championship. So you know he can do it. Folks, this dude should be in the MVP conversation. Period.